Yes, Oberon, we should continue our talk on agreements. It's true. This time, let's talk about business. Money? Well, let's talk about money next time. This is Oberon and I'm Kaylin. Oberon's my buddy who joins me in all of my videos. My videos are always about tapping into that richness of life, living in the flow of everything that you prefer, whether it is regarding your business, your money, your love, your life. In this video, we're going to talk to you about the importance of agreements. So let's get straight to it. See, one of the things that happens, Oberon, is that I meet entrepreneurs because I have a marketing firm and so I'm constantly helping them. I meet entrepreneurs who aren't really living up to the agreements that they have set up. What I mean by that is they start a business, they start by doing something, and then they don't necessarily like what they're doing, or they say that they're doing something else. Now, I know about that because it's hard for me to talk about what I do oftentimes. After all, unless I put myself under an umbrella like the umbrella of a life consultant, it's very confusing, not to mention, what the hell is a life consultant and what do they do? Very confusing. The thing is, if you want to talk about problems with your children, I can help you. If you want to talk about your relationship, I can help you. If you want to have a deep conversation about energy, karmatic energies, and life purpose, I'm going to love that conversation. If you want to talk about your marketing and about Facebook versus Google Plus versus Twitter, I can talk to you about that. And so it's very hard to talk. It's very hard for me to come up with my own agreement. So I totally have compassion and understanding for so many other businesses that don't quite know how to get their identity in place. They do so many things, and with today's economic times, so many people do. Of course they do. We're not single-minded people. We're very talented people. We're all capable of many things. And for a lot of us, the economy and life today has helped or forced us to do many things. A lot of people, they can really take what they're an expert at and translate it into another field. The difficulty comes along, of course, when, as Oberon says, people kind of constantly change their mind and they don't know exactly what they want. For example, I hate to say it, but I see a lot of business people who are doing network marketing or the multi-level marketing, and they don't really know what to do, how to do. They think they have a great product, but they can't figure out why it's working. Well, that's a whole different topic, because to me, the network marketing or the multi-level marketing, it's a very different model than that of an entrepreneur who is creating everything for themselves. The network marketing, in a way, is a salesperson because everything's already set up. I like helping entrepreneurs who need to develop their own marketing. That's one of my fortes. That's one of the things that I love doing. But you can get a sense where those network marketers, they kind of don't know whether they're coming or going. They have a hard time maintaining an agreement because it's not a product that they created. So sometimes they change, and sometimes you go to a networking event and they have one product, and then you go to the next event, you see them the next time, and they have a new product. It gets confusing. People can't even remember what you're about, right? And after all, what you most want them to remember is what you're about in your business, in the world of business. So instead, it's real important to have agreements in place. When you first sit down and meet someone, and certainly when you're talking with a potential customer or client, you really need to have your agreements in place. When you have your agreements in place, what happens is you know who you are, what you want, what you're after, and what you want from the other person. Now, that might make some sense, and it may be perfectly logical, but it doesn't mean it happens all the time. Frankly, I think it doesn't happen most of the time. Having agreements like this helps you be clear. It helps you know what it is that you want at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the year. Because otherwise, people can often decide that maybe this isn't for them. Maybe they want to change it. Maybe. And there's a lot of confusion. Now, I have an example of a girlfriend who did the opposite. She bought a business. She was so excited about it. She didn't talk to me about it. And I think it's partly because a part of her knew that she was sort of jumping in with the sharks kind of thing. And at that point, it's swim or be eaten. So her initial agreement was just sort of, I want my own business. And she jumped and she got her own business. But then one of the things that happened is she really wanted to make a lot of money, but that wasn't happening. The business model she bought, it wasn't a real huge moneymaker. So she had two choices: honor the agreement or dishonor the agreement. Dishonoring the agreement at that point means either trying to resell the business or walk away from it, have a tantrum, blame the economy, blame whoever you want. But in dishonoring the agreement, it wouldn't work out very well. Now would it? On the other hand, honoring the agreement, the route she chose, meant sort of, now that she had some skin in the game, playing the game. It meant going in every day and doing her best and just keeping at it. She made the agreement that this was now her industry and she became really good at it. Frankly, she still doesn't make a ton of money. The business model, it doesn't change necessarily. She is getting more creative and thinking of other ways to make money through her business. And those are working because she honored the agreement as to what she was going to do, and she's trying to live up to the part of the agreement where she wanted to make money. However, the initial agreement and the initial contract, purchasing the agreement, it didn't really have the money built in, and therefore she's having to try to add it in, create it. I really respect the fact that she's really sticking to it. Right, Oberon? It's like picking a flight path to go somewhere and staying the course. And she is staying the course. Life has its own way of rewarding things like that because she's honoring herself and she's honoring the initial agreement that started her business. But I say, why not instead start agreements on a much better footing? Why not instead be real clear who you are, what you want, how you want this to go, what you want to get out of it, and what you want from the other person. Whether it's a client, a vendor, a business partner, it doesn't matter. When you're clear on your agreements, you're going to be in a much stronger place. And you're going to have far more direction about what you want, where you want to go, how you want it to go. So do think about this, because in some ways what I'm talking about seems real obvious, but I have to tell you that I see a lot of people and business people, a lot of entrepreneurs that aren't really honoring their agreement. They're kind of all over the place, so they're trying and they keep having to fix their business. And like I said, hey, I have compassion for that because I really feel like it's really hard for me to explain what I do. And some days I wake up and I want to help an entrepreneur. Some days I wake up and I would love to work with a couple on their relationship. So I'm like the worst case of it all. I'm so topsy-turvy, but I still have a great time making videos, helping my clients, and helping anyone that crosses my path. I love helping shift their perception, because when it is that you change your mind, everything in your life starts to change. And that's because when you change your mind, you start to think about things like agreements differently. You change how you feel, you change your energy, and that means that you can't help but change your life and what you attract to you. And that's what it's all about. All right, well, we're going to sign off here. Please be sure to like our video or subscribe so that you catch the next one. You could certainly sign up for our email list as well, at which point we'll send you some great information, great marketing information a couple times a month.